I'm Wendy Woods, Vice Chair for Social Impact, Climate, and Sustainability.
I'm Michel Frédeau, Senior Partner of BCG, focusing on climate and sustainability. So Wendy, you're a long timer at Davos. So how have you seen the climate agenda moving forward over all these years?
So the good news is it's moved forward tremendously, Michelle. When I first came to Davos, I think it's at least 10 years ago, the word climate wasn't really spoken. We talk about environment, but we had those conversations in a tent down the road that wasn't even on the map. This year, climate, net zero, environment, inclusion, and equity are part of the mainstream agenda in the majority of the conversations at Davos today. Michelle, you've been working with the companies and the net zero agenda at WEF. How have companies' agendas evolved?
So the company's agenda has evolved quite a lot. You remember in the COP in Paris, where we got to this agreement, fantastic, it was basically with governments. There was no corporations present. At the COP26, I was really positively surprised. The number of CEOs present was, if I may say so, even better than in Davos. Really huge mobilization, whether it's on the finance side with the GFANs, but also sector by sector, geography by geography, it's very impressive. So you can really have the feeling today that companies understand that net zero is going to be a must-have, that there's an urgency to transform their business to have a compatible portfolio with a 1.5 degree world in 2030, and you need acting now. And the sooner you act, the better advantage you're going to be with your supply chain, with your customers, and even internally to retain the best talent.
Michelle, I've been excited because the organizations and the companies that I've been talking to have been much clearer on their commitments. They are committing. Their commitments are much more ambitious. As you're saying, I think they are understanding the value and they're acting on those commitments. I'm talking to a number of CEOs. They're actually making progress, have already made significant progress on the agenda, and they're engaging together because we know the hardest part of progress on net zero as it relates to innovation and the last bits of carbon across their supply chains they're going to have to work on together. And we're starting to see some of that collaboration today. Michelle, we're between COP26 and COP27 now. And it's been terrific to have our CEO of BCG, Christoph Schweitzer, meeting with the Egyptian minister, Shukri. What are your expectations as a result of all the planning we see happening around this?
So first, I must say that we are honored and very proud to have been selected as the exclusive consulting partner for the COP27. And we started working quite heavily, as you can imagine, to contribute to the agenda. I think it's no secret to say that, the first point is clearly that the next COP is going to move from pledges and ambition setting to delivery. We need results, we need projects and pipeline of projects to show that we are really having solutions to decrease emissions in the world. The second one is the focus on adaptation, taking advantage of having a COP in Africa. Adaptation has not been the main focus up to now, mitigation, but now we need to open up the discussion on adaptation with clear plans, as we know that unfortunately we will pass the 1.5 degrees quite before the end of the decade, as the IPCC report shows. The last one, of course, money counts. So it's going to be the finance and finding finance solutions for countries in emerging markets and beyond to make sure that the transition happens. And what's on your side? What would you see important element of the agenda, Wendy?
It's going to be a full agenda because I have a few things to add, Michelle. The first off, I would say again, in Africa, we can't forget the just transition. We know that a green economy is going to create more jobs than we lose, but they're not all in the same places. And the economy is local, and we're going to have to find a way to achieve a just transition as we do our green transition. The other thing is we need to focus on food. In Africa, the vast majority of the economy depends on small shareholder farmers and food, and we need to make sure that food agenda, the agricultural agenda, the adaptation, as you said, is all fully embedded into the agenda on COP. And last, we are dealing with so many difficult issues in the world right now, but we can't allow any of those to give us an excuse to take our eye off the ball on what we need to achieve in getting to a net zero, nature positive, and an equitable world.
Thank you, Wendy. So I think the agenda is pretty full. This Davos session has been exceptional. I think all the key issues have been discussed. with the right stakeholders, and we are quite positive on the fact that the world is moving and has really understood the urgency of action. Thank you.
Thank you, Michel. I think everyone here is continuing to work for a net zero world, a nature positive world, and an equitable world.